My name is Pablo Trapero. I'm the director of Lion's Den, Leonera en español.
I'm Martina Guzman. I'm from Argentina. I'm Julia in the film.
Rodrigo Santoro from Brazil, Ramiro in the film.
Is the story of Julia that wakes up one day and she is in between these two bodies full of blood. One is lifeless and the other one is not. They both go to jail. Ramiro and Julia go to jail, where we discover that Julia is pregnant, and while waiting a trial, she has her baby and has to raise it in prison. The idea is born of making a film about maternity more than a jail, and so it starts from there, from the idea of maternity, and also the idea of making a film with Martina as the star of the movie. In the process of the work, I realized that there's this other reality about women having their children in jail, and I felt the need of talking about this situation, specific situation. The process took around a year of several prisons, visits to prisons, and interviews with women that had lived almost the same or similar experiences as Julia. And however, the film is not as specific in one case. It does have parts and bits of stories, of real stories of all these interviews.
Well, in my case, my process was much shorter. I had actually only 2 weeks. I was in the middle of another project, and when we talked and went out to Argentina, and basically it was more like a lot of many conversations between me and Pablo and Martina talking about it. I visited the prison itself, and only we actually talked about like creating this relationship that between Ramiro and Julia, what we wanted to how we wanted to portray that, and what was the relationship between them. That was pretty much it, but it was very fast. It was probably like 2 weeks.
There were several challenges, but the main one was to create this relationship and for the viewer to see the reality of Julia as a daily basis in jail and her process, and as very day by day. Production-wise, it was mostly the locations of working in real jails and with people that were actual inmates that also were part of the film. As Pablo just said, it's also the working with the inmates and the real live people that are doing this, but also to create the arc of Julia and to create that story in 5 years, to create a real arc and how she changed and transformed was the biggest challenge of all.
Well, I think for me was when Pablo offered me the role, he told me this is a very important character, is the male character of the film, and it's very pivotal for the story, but it has only a couple of scenes, and I think the biggest challenge was exactly that, trying to portray this relationship between Ramiro and Julia, especially what you don't see in the film, because the film is also about this big mystery, what kind of relationship those guys had before, and trying to, with subtle little details and things, trying to create that and to portray that. So it was in a couple of scenes, like 5, 6 moments in the film where we have to tell a lot and in a short, time. So that was a real challenge for me.
It's that sometimes there's the idea that it's really hard to make a film, and you have to go pass by that idea to actually do it and work hard to put your idea and love behind the project and the film. Never lose the love, the passion, and try and experiment and do, and just play with it until you find what you really want to do.
Well, for actors and directors, I would say never give up, number one, and also try to work with people that you respect and admire, because I think what you're going to take from it, it's the experience you have. So if you work with somebody that you admire, for sure you're going to learn something, and that's what you're going to take from it. in my opinion. So I think, if you're able to do that, you're already, in a very good direction.
It's in this case, it's a team of people that had been together for a long time, and even before the actual shooting, there is a lot of ideas and concepts being the visual of the film, the way of the film is. I've been working with the same DP and the same stylist and makeup person and everybody since day one. It has been a great experience, and also the two screenings, how people had reacted about this, and the opportunity of being with different filmmakers from different countries and talking about the same subject. Also, the big Argentinian section of AFI that it's being done this year, and he's very proud of being part of it. I'm very happy and very excited of being here. AFI is a very prestigious film festival, and the reaction of the people, this is the first time it's being projected to a North American audience, which is very different of Cannes. So it's great, and now very excited about what's going to happen with the commercial release.
Yeah, same here. I'm, very happy to be. It's my first time at the AFI. Very fortunate this year. I'm participating with 2 films, and so I had, a lot to do, a lot to talk about, and what I really like about it is, like, besides the great film selection, I'm actually watching other films, and the Q&A you do after the screening, where you get to hear what the audience has to say about it, and the questions and all that. And I think that contact with the audience, it's very, very interesting in the process of filmmaking. I think it puts it all together.
The biggest expectation of all is that people and audience actually go to the theater and actually see it. Also in Argentina, the film was selected to be in the Academy Awards for Best Foreign Language Feature. So in the next days, weeks, there's going to be an actual nomination. So and now the release here, it's going to bring it way higher.